everybody, I am the Sarcastic Barman, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be taking a break from Orphan Red because I think she's done everybody's head in, and if I hear that laugh one more time in the next week, my head will fucking explode. So today we're going to look at two other fucking morons. We have some Dmarlbe, and oh god. And then we've also got some DecimalZ, formerly Dr. Zach, I believe. But yeah, let's crack on and see what rubbish they're going to spout for us to have a look at.
DecimalZ.
Hi, Flat Earthers, this is Zach.
What the hell? Dude, how many camera angles are you going to go for?
Well, this is something that I discussed with my friend Sander and I wanted to share it with you. So if you like to pay attention to the smallest things...
I feel I should make a penis joke there. But I won't be that low.
like I do, then this video is for you. They say that gravity pulls everything to the center of the Earth, but then they shoot themselves in the foot when they say that the Earth is not a perfect sphere.
So it's not actually a sphere, it's oblate. And officially it's an oblate spheroid.
Dude, you've been making videos for 3 years and your cuts are shitter than mine. Don't talk over the next clip. How am I supposed to cut it out? Now I have to play extra. You're just making my life difficult. And yes, the Earth is an oblate spheroid. There is about a 14-mile difference. Or, fuck all.
Today I'm gonna show you what this means. But first, let's talk about gravity.
Gravity, you fucking retard! Gravity! Have you ever heard of fucking gravity?
Sorry, I couldn't resist. His little gravity cut where was shit. That one's much funnier.
So, if we assume that gravity really exists...
Why are you assuming gravity? You don't need to assume gravity. Don't assume things. Do the tests. Look at the evidence. It's all there. But, you're just going to be a moron, aren't you? You're going to fuck this up like every other fluffer. Ugh.
A lot of problems with the heliocentric model would be solved, such as...
What keeps us stuck to the Earth? Why do we keep spinning around and around? Why doesn't the vacuum of space suck the atmosphere?
Well, at least you understand what gravity is responsible for. But I do think you're still going to cock this up.
So gravity is the answer of almost every hard question that could come to your mind. But the funny thing is, if you ask about gravity itself, you will find out that it's still an unproven theory. But guess what? They teach it in school as a fact.
It is a proven scientific theory.
So when we grow up and we hear somebody saying that gravity doesn't exist, we just laugh and we think that the guy is crazy.
If you really think gravity doesn't exist, then yes, you're fucking crazy.
But hold on a second. If they say it's just a theory, then why are we still taking it as a fact?
Fuck's sake. 3 years, 24,000 subscribers. This video alone has more likes than I have subscribers for my channel. And you don't understand the difference between a scientific theory and a hypothesis stroke theory that normal people would have. You're a fucking moron.
Check out this website, National Center for Science Education. Gravity is only a theory. And if you go down here, the universal theory of gravity is often taught in school as a fact, when in fact it is not even a good theory.
Seriously, did you not read the entire document? Or did you not even read the small bit at the top? Here, I'll read it out for you. Textbooks disclaimers are down but not out. This satirical look at only a theory disclaimer imagines what might happen if advocates applied the same logic to the theory of gravitation that they do to the theory of evolution. Now, I'm guessing as a flat earther you probably don't believe in evolution either, but this is a take the fucking piss look at it if you morons got your way with every scientific theory.
And if we go to this government's website, we find out pretty much the same thing.
Are you going to cherry pick again? Because I think you are. But I must say that these camera angles are fucking annoying.
We don't really know. We can define what it is as a field of influence because we know how it operates in the universe.
And God only knows how they knew that.
Yes, science, bitch!
And some scientists think that it is made up of particles called gravitons which travel at the speed of light.
What's with the head shake?
However, if we are to be honest, we do not know what gravity is, in any fundamental way. We only know how it behaves.
Yeah, I'm not really going to argue with that bit of the document. But you should really point out the is was is. It makes a big difference. We basically do understand gravity. Well, I say basically, we understand gravity quite well. We put shit in orbit using our understanding of gravity. We know that mass attracts mass. Getting down to why this is a whole different subject.
All you have to do is draw a line. You can imagine it as a laser. Draw it from this point where this line and the circle intersects and make sure it is perpendicular on this line. This new line will never hit the circle anywhere.
Yep, fair enough. Horizontal line, laser comes out, should never touch the ground. Yep.
And of course, this line right here will go directly to the center of the earth. But if you draw a perpendicular line right here, for example, it will not go to the center. It will only go to the center if it passes through this specific point. And of course, you can do the same thing from all points on the surface of the circle.
Okay, I can see we're descending into a rabbit hole of fucking pure stupidity at this rate. How are you going to do the perpendicular line 300 miles to the south? Because it's not going to be perpendicular to Earth, is it? Because then you'd have to shine it at, say, 20 degrees looking up, 30 degrees looking up, 40 degrees, so on and so forth. Oh, I can see where you're going with this, and it's fucking moronic.
But if the Earth is not a perfect sphere, and it's an oblate spheroid as they say.
Yep, oblate spheroid, the bulge is 26.5 miles. I think I need to make a correction from earlier because I'm sure I said 14 miles. Don't know where I got that from. But yeah, 26.5 miles equates to fuck all. It could be 40 miles, it'd still be fuck all.
Then what would happen? Let's see. I'm gonna make the Earth look like an egg so you guys can see the difference. And then we will see it in real scale. So if the Earth is like this, then the lines over here cannot be perpendicular to the surface because the Earth is no longer a perfect sphere.
Exaggerating the bulge a little bit there, are we? Yeah. So hopefully now you're seeing a perfect circle. And then back to me. And then in a bit we'll show you the oblate spheroid. Hey, there it is. Now, what do you think the difference there is? And do you think you would see the difference if I didn't tell you there was a difference? No, you probably wouldn't. And what's worse, the first one I showed was the oblate spheroid. The second one was the circle. Have fun with that.
So if we do the same thing like we did before and draw the laser from the same point, it will eventually go underground. And what does that mean?
Well, it would mean several things. Number one, you're a moron. Number two, you don't understand the pull of gravity to the centre of the Earth correctly. You're assuming that bulge is going to make a fucking difference. It's not. Number three, I've shot this entire video on a tilt that no one's probably fucking noticed to compensate for my slightly being different to the pull of Earth. So if gravity did work exactly like you think and things didn't fall perpendicular, yeah, you'd have noticed that shit, but no. Now, gravity pulls to the centre of Earth. Yes. The small bulge and difference around the Earth makes no difference to how we feel gravity and how we perceive gravity and its pull. If you have a sensitive set of scales, you can go to different places on Earth and observe the difference in the weight of objects. Now, let's get back to you being a fucking moron.
If you were this line, you would be walking in a tilted way like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Alright? And your laser will go underground. But does that happen anywhere on Earth? Okay, let me explain this a little bit more because it's kind of confusing.
it wouldn't be confusing if you understood it properly. Now, let's skip to near the end, because you're just a fucking moron.
If the Earth was an oval,
The Earth's not an oval, it's an oblate spheroid. Faster, Skippy.
you would be tilted and not perpendicular.
You keep using the word. I do not think it means what you think it means.
And if you measured your angle, it would not be 90 degrees.
And how are you going to measure this angle? You're going to use a plumb bob, which will be pulled down straight to gravity. Are you expecting to see you standing what you think is level, but the plumb bob pulling like that? No, because according to gravity and how do you feel it, even if you are on a slight angle to your perpendicular line that you can't do because that's not how gravity works and pulls down to the centre, you're not going to fucking know. You flurfers get fucking more stupid as time goes by. I fucking swear it.
Well, of course some Globers will say that the Earth is not really like that, but this was just to explain the point. Now, we're gonna see it in real scale.
I bet we're not. I bet you're going to exaggerate it, because that's what you flurfers do. Change the bits to suit your narrative.
It is the World Geodetic System with two different radiuses, and I also draw a perfect sphere with a radius of 3959 miles, so you can see the difference between them, and it's really small. But
Are we being a cheeky little fuckbag and playing with numbers again? Now, yes, you've used the right distance for your polar radius, for your equatorial radius, but then why not use one of those on the perfect circle? So why not have the radius the same as the equator on our Earth, or the polar radius the same, and then have that for the circle? Because then it won't show what you want it to show, will it? Then it will be so minute a difference, no one would know. Oh, you little fucker.
in geometry, any difference makes a difference.
Yes, I'll agree. Any difference makes a difference. But not for the scale we're talking about. You're looking at a 0.3% difference at the bulge to the equator. Over thousands and thousands and thousands of miles or kilometers. Whatever units you want to use.
So in order to see the difference between these two circles, I'm gonna put them above each other. Keep in mind that right now, both circles have the same center. Now I'm gonna zoom in to see the difference. As you can see, the difference is really small.
And if you've given your perfect circle the same radius as either our equatorial radius or polar radius, the difference would probably be even smaller if you're going to look above the equator. Oh, you're just going to be a cockbag here, aren't you?
Now this line right here comes from the center of both circles. And if we draw a 90-degree line on the perfect sphere, which is the blue one, we will notice that it will never touch the circle anywhere else. And that proves that there is nothing flat on a perfect circle or a sphere. This is just a message to the people who think that seeing something that is a few miles away is normal on a spherical object. It's not.
He's really boring me now. We're going to sum up really quickly so I can get on to Dmarlbe, because this guy's a fucking moron. Right. 1. If you'd have probably used the radius from one circle to the other one, you'd have probably done quite well and made it look even tighter and no one would have noticed. And yeah, cockwomble moment. Number 2, you're going to be perpendicular to how you feel gravity on the ground. If there's a very, 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 very slight 0.007 degree tilt to what the centre of Earth is, you are not going to feel that because you're going to be pulled down evenly to the centre of gravity. It doesn't make a fuck wobble of difference. Number 2, your laser that you're going to have shining going, yes, it hits the ground. If you're 90 degrees to the surface of the Earth where you're going to plant the laser, no it fucking won't. You are twisting it and being a cockwomble. Right, Dmarlbe time, because this guy's a dick.
I want to talk a little bit about that phrase. That phrase that we get so often. You know, if it weren't for gravity, we'd all go flying off into space.
Well, yes and no. As long as we pushed off away from Earth to give ourselves a force moving in that direction, yes, you could go into space without having to worry about being pulled back to Earth. We're going to have another cockwomble moment now, aren't we?
As ridiculous as that sounds, there are still adults, supposedly rational thinking adults, that still say that exact same thing. So the situation is that we've all been subjected to an extensive propaganda campaign that has resulted in people operating with total disregard for their own God-given senses. And this has led people to believe in ideologies that go completely against common sense and rational thought.
Why? Why do I do this to myself? Ugh. There's no propaganda. Gravity's real. You're just a fucking dick.
When individuals express their knowledge that they live on a flat, stationary plane, one of the most popular responses we get is
you're an idiot, you're a moron, you're fucking stupid, you're a fucking idiot, you're just fucking stupid.
In the form of gravity.
Yeah, because I didn't think of that really. I suppose gravity doesn't work with the flat Earth, does it? Vsauce did a great one for it, that if it didn't collapse down, how the centre of gravity pulling back and stuff like that. It's really quite interesting. I don't think Flurfers liked it very much.
And gravity's used to explain away everything that makes absolutely no sense.
You leaving that clip behind you like that makes no sense. It's quite disturbing. Let's fix that.
In relation to your day-to-day experience. It's the glue that holds this whole thing together.
I think you may have been sniffing glue. This is why you're such a fucking moron.
So we were all programmed to believe in gravity, and we're told to respond by explaining gravity and saying that gravity is this amazing force on Earth that pulls everything towards the center of mass from all directions.
Nah, close enough. Yeah, mass attracts mass. So for object A, we'll have force attracting it to object B. Depending on the size of each object, depends on the amount of attraction between them. Even individual particles, they believe, have this attractive force. So, yeah, let's keep going, I suppose. Maybe.
This infers that when people say that believe in a globe, that there exist people thousands of miles beneath your feet who are walking, driving, riding bikes, flying airplanes, finding love and loss, experiencing tragedy and hope, all while living their entire existence upside down relative to their position.
I almost cut that too soon. As soon as he said upside down, I was like, fuck, he's going to get both barrels here. But luckily, he said relative to their position. And yeah, people live upside down on Earth compared to you. But they're not upside down because it's a circle, sphere. Oblate spheroid. I'm doing this to myself on purpose by now. I swear I must be a sadomasochist inside.
And when people say that, I don't believe that they're really thinking that deeply about what they're saying.
You're going to question people's thinking. Okay. You know, we can test gravity. You can do it in your van, in your house, in the park. Don't care where you do it, but you can do it. Just rewind my video, watch the bit. I'm sure I talked about it. I did. And yeah. God damn.
And what you're seeing here is a visual demonstration of just that. I know it looks silly, but we globe skeptics or flat earthers, we're not the ones that believe that this nonsense actually matches up with reality.
I don't think you globe skeptics, flat earthers, flurfers, flat-tards, whatever we want to call you this week, believe anything that's actual reality, do you?
A person can be standing next to a 4,000-pound vehicle and step outside said vehicle.
This is going to take far too long. Time for some movie magic.
And stand next to a helium balloon while that balloon is attempting to float upward to the sky that is relatively beneath someone else's feet.
Now it just sounds like he's had the helium, but I'm sure we can do better than that.
Because people believe that's a thing. You can dig through the earth and then come out the other side and there's going to be sky.
I feel the need for speed. Ow!
When you get on the other side. People believe that gravity's strong enough to hold this 4,000-pound van to the ground because that's what you're saying right here. The gravitational pull is supposedly pulling the van on the concrete, keeping it from flying off into space. Right? So I can step out of that same vehicle with absolutely no detection of this tremendous force that's pulling the van to the ground, and as ridiculous as this sounds and looks, that's exactly what most of the Earth's population is being trained to believe.
So, summary. I won't do it as quick as him. Gravity's, we believe, programmed hard enough, hold van ground, helium float up, the normal density buoyancy crap that they come out with. Let's keep going.
And then you're going to have these so-called experts on the internet who shrug that off and offer up word salad, pseudo-scientific jargon, word trickery to confuse people, using terms like selective gravity to explain away these things that have no relation to reality.
Selective gravity? The only time I've heard selective gravity is on the same line as Murphy's Law. Just selective gravity. An object will fall as to do the most damage.
Now let's address this logical fallacy of gravity's what's keeping us all from flying off into space, and add a little question in there. Now those of us who actually trust in our senses to interpret reality and have grown a skepticism for the globe modeling, we find it easier to conclude that gravity is a non-existent force and that we all, meaning everyone existing on Earth, all of us, we experience life on a flat, motionless plane.
So if gravity doesn't exist, why do things fall down? Will you answer that? Probably not. I don't know yet. I've not got that far in the video.
We all walk around upright at a 90-degree angle on this vast, flat plane, just like we all experience every day of our lives. Our day-to-day experience is us living on a flat, motionless plane. None of us have ever seen anybody upside down. That makes absolutely no sense.
I swear all flat earthers are obsessed by upside down. Can none of you do handstands or something? Is that why there's so much obsession? But let's be honest, you can't trust your senses to be exact for everything, can you? You're expecting to detect these minute movements based on our scale of life, and you're not going to. There are equipment to let you detect these movements and to see these things, and you can go up to space and look down. But I forget, you don't think any of that crap exists.
Anyway, but if gravity is the force that's keeping us all from flying off into space, then this would mean that there's some force, some repellent force that's either pushing everything away from the surface of the Earth, or that there's some force that's external to the Earth that's pulling everything away from the surface of the Earth in all directions, relatively.
No, without gravity, there's nothing pulling you off. We just basically mean, if there was no gravity and I jumped up, I would keep going and going and going and going and going until something stops me above, so I hit the roof. From outside, nothing's going to hit me and make me come back down, is it? Oh, you just twist this crap over and over, don't you?
This would mean that there's some force that gravity's constantly in this eternal struggle with. Well, as far as we know, there's no repulsive force pushing everything away from the Earth. In fact, we've been taught that the Earth has a magnetic core. Although it's been demonstrated that magnetic properties are lost when a metal reaches a certain temperature, but I suppose that's for another video.
What on earth does the magnetic core have to do with gravity? Are you trying to insinuate that things are being pulled down by the magnetic core of the Earth, or repulsed by the magnetic core of the Earth if there wasn't gravity? You're just talking bollocks again, aren't you?
And as far as the external force pulling things off the Earth, that gravity's supposed to be constantly fighting against, well, some people would say that's the vacuum of space and, attribute all that to, this infinite vacuum of space. But it's been demonstrated and it's been discussed at length by other content creators that the idea of an enclosed system existing next to a vacuum without a physical membrane or a barrier between the two, that's a physical impossibility.
At this point in your video, I think it's a physical impossibility that you have a brain. Now, you know that gravity holds everything down. You know there's a pressure gradient. You know that as we go higher, there's less and less and less and less pressure the higher we go. At some point, do you not think that that pressure is going to reach relative zero? Do you not think that that would be space? You just sound like a fucking moron.
So to summarize, if you believe that gravity is the force that keeps us all from flying off into space, then that means that there has to be some force that gravity is perpetually counteracting, that's either pushing us away from the surface of the Earth, or that's pulling us out into space.
For God's sake, you're obsessed. Nobody is pulling you off. Ever. Ever, ever.
Off of the face of the Earth. So the question is, what is that force that gravity is constantly battling against? What's the name of that force? I just want you to think about these things. And that's all I got for this video. As always, be good to each other, take care of yourself, stay flat. I'll see you next time. Thank you.
Well, that video contained no information at all then, really, did it? He proposes that gravity might be fake, but then gives no real answer for what might be there instead. So, I'm going to guess he means pressure and buoyancy. Most flat earthers seem to think it's pressure and buoyancy. But I've got a question for that. If I have, say, a big van, and it's all sealed inside, and I sit in that van, because the roof is blocking all the pressure of the air above and it's not pushing down on me, do I weigh less? Anyway, I'll leave them thinking about that. I am the Sarcastic Barman. Thank you for joining me tonight. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. You know the crap. Comments down below, original videos down below. Yeah, I shall hopefully see you soon. Good night.